I've been in the prison ministry since 1985. Go to prisons, mainly Blunderston, Bill Salmon's back there, and Belmarsh. That's the main two prisons I go to with the gospel. When he was in Camp Hill, I used to go Camp Hill regular on the Isle of Wight, and he was in there doing 5 years, my Benny, for his drug-related crimes. And I was sharing the good news, and he was one of the cons. But there's so much stuff in the prisons, so much. And I was talking to, I don't know how it is these days.
So much.
I was talking to one of the prison officers, and he's telling me about this dog, a drug dog. And he told me, like, if they smells drug, it just sits down. And I went, God, brilliant. I said, how many times do you go around the Peters? He said, oh, we don't go around the Peters. Go around the cells. I said, why on earth not? Don't you go to the workshops? Do they do that now? No, I mean, that baffles me. These dogs are so brilliant. And I said, why don't they go around? He couldn't answer me, really. They get drugs in, they get a ball, they cut the ball in half, fill it up with heroin, stick it all back, and they catapult it over into some part of the yard, the recreation. And those who are on the, and there's so many ways of getting in, but that dog is for visitors. Well, people are wise. They won't, very rare anyone take drugs in visits these days. But I want to tell you about a miracle, another miracle, what happened in my life. My Benny, he come home, went back on the heroin, back to prison, another prison. He must have been to about a dozen prisons. And he was home, now I'm going back 2 years now, 2 years ago. It was a Wednesday, I'd just done a double shift. I look after people with learning difficulties. Thing I could never have done before I knew Jesus, I tell you that. And I phoned Benny, and the phone just kept ringing, which is normal. He either has it on silent or he's out of it, you know. But this particular night, my wife was babysitting, my second wife was babysitting, and I thought I'll go and have a bath and I'll give him another ring later on. But I couldn't get up the stairs. A panic come over me, and I didn't hear any voices, but I knew I had to get round my son's, which is about just over half a mile away, I would say. I never go round there of an evening. It just hurts me to see him in a state. He's always out of his head. So I think, but this panic come. Get round Benny's. I've got to get round my son's. I've got to get a panic. That's all I can describe it. So I got my shoes back on, got me run out of the car, shot round my boys. Banging on the door, no answer. I looked through the letterbox and I could see his legs on the floor, half in the bedroom and half out in the passageway. I was just going to kick the door in, but I got a spare key. You know, I opened the door and I thought he was dead. I know he's been injecting in his groins, injecting the stuff, and but he looked dead. And I don't know what I prayed. I put him in the recovery position and I prayed on him. I hate mobile phones. I won't have a mobile phone, you know. I hate them. People, so you can't have a conversation with your friends, can you? The phone keeps ringing. You know, it's all right for gossip. They say, oh, phones. I met up with 5 of my old pals at the Peacock Gym, and every 2 minutes, one of their I said, turn your phones off. Anyway, so I won't have one. My daughter bought me one 3 years ago for Christmas. Never used it. Still in the top drawer. But at this particular time, I wished I had my phone. So I ran out my son, I really thought he was dead. Then I heard this, and I knocked on about 5 or 6 doors, rat-tat-tat, rat. Anyway, come out. Thank God the ambulance came within about 10 minutes. He cut all his clothes off of him, and he injected him. I don't know what it was. I don't know if any of you know. He injected him with some stuff, but he couldn't find his pulse or nothing. You know, I could see he was panicking. The medic there. I'm praying. I'm just praying. Anyway, he said he'd be all right. He'd be all right. And he come to. He come round, rushed to the hospital. But that medic said, we almost lost him. Now, I know God sent me round there that night. I really do. It just chokes me just to think that God loves me that much. You know, a drunk. All I was a drunk. A drunk. Always drunk. But when my first wife, like Benny's mother, when she left, as soon as my daughter left school, Benny left school, then my daughter left. She wanted to take Jennifer with her, but she wanted to stay with her dad. I just wanted to be loved, do you know what I mean? I'm born again now and I love Jesus, but I wanted a woman to love me. So for 2 years, every day, I had 2 dogs, I should take them out for a walk, and I pray, Lord, please give me a wife, someone who will love me. Just want, you know, I ain't this tough guy no more. I'm real. I ain't got to wear a mask no more, you know. I ain't got to go out with a knife in my pocket. I can say sorry if someone, I'll sooner shake their hand, you know, and say sorry. But I wanted a woman to love me. And I went to church one day, and Denise, my wife now, come and sat right next to me. Now, I was courting her at school. I know the time's going on, I'll be 5 minutes. I was courting her at school. I was courting her. Anyway, and I said, what are you doing here? She said, I'm looking for the truth. I said, well, you come to the right place, girl. I said, do you want to lift home? I said, I'll give you a lift. I said, can I drop you home? I didn't even know where she lived. Anyway, she lived in Canning Town. Well, I knew her husband. So she's in the motor, and I'm driving along. Still good little salt, you know, and I said, how's Ray, her husband? And she went, oh, we're divorced. I thought, that's handy. I thought, that's handy. Horrible, I ain't got to think that I did. Anyway, I dropped her off, and I don't know what I said, but I know I made an excuse to go back round here. And we started seeing each other. She started going to church regular. She got herself born again, and we were courting there. We got engaged, and we got married. Do you know, I could speak for hours and hours about Jesus, but I'm just going to finish off with this. My wife today is a counsellor in Canning Town South. And since she's been a counsellor, I go to the meetings at the town hall, Newham. And there's an organisation there called Transform Newham. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. But nothing's going to be transformed until Jesus is in the town hall. Do you know we can't even mention his name? Offensive to other religions. I said, but we've got 3 councillors there. The Labour Party hate us because they used to have a landslide, but God's doing something. I've discovered that the Lord is the author and the founder of politics. Amen. He's the He's the God of law and order. When you look back in the Bible, you know, with the Levites and that and everything else. And the important decision our mayor, well not just the mayor of Newham, but everywhere in the country, the important things they have to decide on the issues and the projects they talk about, they don't pray. No. They don't consult our God. And you look in that Bible, whenever the kings of Israel went against the Lord, it was tragedy. And when they did what he said, how he blessed them. So please pray for CPA. It's called Christians People's Alliance. I'm going to stand in the next election as a candidate. Don't laugh. I am. And I'll tell you something, these people will hear plenty about Jesus Christ. Because he is the answer to all our needs. Bless you.